God of War, a series that's extremely mature, graphic and in depth, that's gone from strength to strength from the original release on the PS2 and still is this very day, and for that reason I personally see Kratos as Sony's undisputed mascot. The 2018 soft reboot is absolutely outstanding, but it's the Greek mythology saga that brought it to the table, and here we're going to see exactly why, focusing on all those phenomenal and truly iconic moments within. So for those who loved the original saga, and for many who haven't had the opportunity to experience Kratos' origin story, here we're going to count down those top 25 moments from God of War's Greek saga, as it can't be ignored for the epic feats in gaming it was able to achieve. And as always, just a heads up, there are major spoilers from here on out. We kick this countdown off with the demise of the god Helios from God of War 3. From a confrontation with the Titan of Destruction that would ultimately prove to be his downfall, Kratos would overcome further defences and a final blinding light to exact some gruesome revenge. From the build-up, on-screen carnage to the horrific yet satisfying climax the death of Helios takes. Number 25.
My death will not lead you to Zeus. That is where you are wrong.
On a path to change his fate, Icarus stumbles across Kratos, who possesses something our fallen god very much requires. The beating that Icarus would take whilst descending down the chasm in God of War 2 may have been brief, but provides us with an extremely sweet story and gameplay moment, earning number 24.
The sisters have sent you to help me. I realize now.
A Spartan army at the brink of defeat, yet a desperate call for aid, a deal with the devil so to speak, in which Kratos sells his soul to Ares in return for his enemy's defeat, is a gripping story, and to see where it all began in God of War 1 is just as captivating till this very day, earning number 23.
Ares! Destroy my enemies, and my life is yours.
A helmet of invisibility and a magic sword proved to be no match for Kratos in a scrap unique to God of War 2, initiating with a challenge of the eyes to an all-out brawl that was ever so engaging. The Sisters of Fate would forever be denied to Perseus, as Kratos would ultimately be his final test at number 22. A perilous chase full of taunts and insults around the Olympian citadel against oncoming projectiles and enemies through some really diverse scenarios. Everything that took place in this segment to the inevitable fate of Hermes in God of War 3 certainly delivered with a most bloody outcome, earning number 21. A climax atop the pillar of the world with the aid of the Titan Atlas. The two phases against Persephone were not only challenging but held some real sentimental meaning, as although her actions were wrong, you could almost understand her plight as her character was built up brilliantly, ending God of War Chains of Olympus on a rather high note, earning number 20.
Your suffering will never end, Ghost of Sparta.
Riding Pegasus in the segments before and after the Titan's lair provided us with some truly fantastic gameplay. Taking on the enemies felt great, we had frantic bursts of speed and some awesome QTE finishes. Overall, these moments were most exhilarating from God of War 2, earning number 19. The opponent is disturbing, the chase introduction hooked you right from the go, the teleportations threw you off, the environmental destruction was excellent and the dismemberment was gruesome, overall providing a boss encounter that was very much worthy of this countdown, earning God of War Ascension's CASTOR and Pollux number 18. Other than his family, to witness Kratos show guilt and penitence, a blow that was meant for Zeus accidentally kills his only god ally Athena in God of War 2.
Kratos! Stop!
Athena!
A most surprising turn of events to say the least, as nobody saw it coming, and that blow and words that would follow would ultimately haunt Kratos for the rest of his days, earning number 17.
God after God will deny you, Kratos. Zeus must live so that Olympus will prevail.
Throughout God of War 1, Kratos may have committed outright shocking and despicable deeds, but as a player you couldn't help but feel sorry for him when he chose death over suffering and the torment of nightmares forevermore. Although the gods would intervene and prevent this, to witness his decision and the plummet from the cliff was a heartfelt and powerful moment indeed, earning number 16.
After 10 years of suffering, 10 years of endless nightmares, it would finally come to an end.
As far as gripping introductions go, the God of War series has many, and Ascensions is no exception. The battle against the Fury Margera and the Hecatoncheires, the Titan-sized living prison, was fast-paced and very intense, providing us with an outright bloodbath with animations and effects that were on another level. To put it simply, this is an underrated confrontation and a very proud moment from Ascension that delivered and delivered big, earning number 15. If watching his family die wasn't enough, Kratos willingly pushes his daughter Calliope away if he's to have any chance of preventing all-out destruction. This was a moment from God of War Chains of Olympus that really pulled at the heartstrings, especially when Calliope clings to her father, emphasizing the dire situation even more so, as a final chance with his daughter, possibly even happiness, sadly wasn't meant to be, earning number 14.
At that moment, Kratos knew his destiny was not with Calliope. The fates were never that kind.
Killing his niece Athena, his brother Poseidon, and his queen Persephone, the god of the underworld certainly has some beef and a legitimate score to settle with his nephew Kratos. From the chainblade duel, a noose around his neck, and a soul absorbed, the confrontation was rapid, fierce, and ever so violent, placing the grand battle against Hades from God of War 3 at number 13. The daughter of Thanatos had been searching for Kratos, and on the mounts of Aronia, that's exactly what she got, in the form of a vicious jewel which wasn't to be taken lightly, and to the skies which would prove to be her undoing. From the powerful musical score, diverse range of attacks, cinematic chase and freefall sequences, Erinis from God of War Ghost of Sparta provided everything an impressive moment requires, earning number 12. The deal made with Ares resulted in Kratos virtually becoming unstoppable, though deceived into killing his family. His wife and child would be the final straw. To witness the act as nothing more than a puppet, a tool to the God of War, was graphic, bloody, and purposefully presented as a bitter pill to swallow, which would mould Kratos into the character that we know today as a very significant and powerful moment from God of War 1, earning number 11.
His skin white with the ash of his dead family, the ghost of Sparta had been born.
The three primordial sisters serving as the secondary antagonists in God of War 2 provided us with a contest unlike anything else. From the intense confrontations, unique manipulation abilities and interactive battle scenarios, all of which told a story over multiple phases. The game had been building to this moment, and the wait was worth it, as the Sisters of Fate didn't disappoint, earning number 10. After being constantly terrorized by the serpent heads on the Aegean Sea, the first boss from the entirety of the series set the tone, level of brutality and epic expectations going forward the franchise would ultimately deliver upon. To face a monster of this scale right from the offset was a moment that defined exactly what the series was all about, and as far as introductions go to a brand new franchise at the time of release, the Hydra from God of War 1 came second to none, earning number 9. A contest about pride, power, and at its core, jealousy, beginning with an all-out assault to a one-on-one duel to determine who the favoured and very best is. The sibling rivalry between Kratos and Hercules from God of War 3 felt personal, dark and gritty, with a climax that was really tough to stomach, overall providing us with a 13th and final labour that was ever so satisfying, earning number 8. How do you top an epic introduction to the series like the Hydra with a colossal living statue is the answer. A foe on a monumental scale doing battle across an entire city, never knowing when or how it would strike next. A face-to-face confrontation that was an outright adrenaline rush full of thrills and excitement to a final assault from within. God of War's first sequel lived up to the major expectations set by the first in spectacular fashion right from the go, with God of War 2's Colossus of Rhodes at number 7.
Do you see, gods of Olympus? Do you need more proof than this?
How on earth do you top the epic Hydra and now Colossus of Rhodes introductions from the first 2 iterations? By pushing things to the absolute limit of creativity on a titan whilst battling a god. The scale is incredible, the animations are exceptional, and the multiple scenarios and set pieces it all takes place in are simply breathtaking. Santa Monica Studios never seem to miss a beat, with yet another introductory boss encounter that somehow tops what came before with Poseidon from God of War 3, which was, in a word, amazing, earning number 6. Regarded as the most difficult boss from the entire franchise, taking place over multiple phases with a huge arsenal of attacks at his disposal, psychological torment that would bring Kratos to his knees, and a tug-of-war health system which was unique and a first. For all of Kratos' faults, the original God of War felt like pure evil, providing an ending boss battle from God of War 1 against Ares that was most formidable and impressive, at number 5.
To make you a great warrior. You succeeded.
Set in a huge illusionary whirlpool that would stretch back as far as the eye could see. Phenomenal cinematic battle sequences that really felt nasty, painful, and ever so satisfying to pull off. A musical score that felt powerful and dramatic, shifting consistently to the ever-changing scenarios, and a final standoff that capped everything off nicely. Along with Persephone's aid, the Queen of the Furies provided an awesome endgame challenge to Ascension that really did deliver on every level, ticking all the right boxes, placing Alecto at number 4.
My death will not free you from this madness!
A Mortal Kombat styled and levelled scrap where you would need every trick in the book if you'd have any chance of prevailing. A heated contest with a massive spike in difficulty resulting in the death of Gaia, and an overwhelming level of determination, willpower and hope to claim the vengeance Kratos sought, all whilst an emotional and gripping story was told throughout. The father-son confrontation had been building up over multiple entries, and it didn't disappoint as it was graphic, captivating, bloodthirsty, extremely entertaining and personal, with its climax moulding Kratos into the character we know today. The battle against the King of Olympus, Zeus, from God of War 3 is regarded as one of the best moments from the franchise, and rightly so, as it easily takes the bronze, at number 3. A fast-paced battle against a formidable opponent, fighting alongside Kratos' brother with some excellent tag team mechanics until the unthinkable happens.
Deimos!
To witness Kratos snap at the loss of his brother Deimos, ending Thanatos, and then the walk of solitude that would follow provided a moment overall that had some great intensity, original battle mechanics and a devastating surprise. God of War Ghost of Sparta provided us with everything an ending climax could ask for, from action, shock and sorrow, as Ready at Dawn's finest moment for the series, taking the silver at number 2.
You are free now, brother.
Our number 1 entry is on a scale like no other. The sheer breadth of the experience is on another level, and how Santa Monica Studios managed to preserve that astronomical feel throughout the entirety of the contest still stands as a tremendous accomplishment in gaming, even by today's standards. This literal David and Goliath extravaganza truly feels fantastic to play through. It's jam-packed full of variety and gripping action-packed scenarios that's ever so violent and barbaric that gives me goosebumps with every playthrough. The battle against Kratos' grandfather Cronos from God of War 3 is by far my favourite and best moment from the entirety of the franchise, as it's not simply just another encounter, it's a gaming achievement and an entertainment milestone that takes the gold at number 1. So that brings us to the end of our countdown and the top 25 moments from Kratos' origins in the Greek mythology saga. A series to me that I feel is timeless, as it's just as good to pick up and play any of these entries today as it was upon first release, as they're designed so well, with so many fantastic moments that I could have easily doubled this list. So if you were a newcomer to the soft reboot, then you owe it to yourself to experience Kratos' origins, as it's that good. With that said though, if you're still here, then thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated because it really helps me grow, and if you can then please stick with me as I'll be bringing new videos to you soon. Take care now, Gavinchi out.